Well, good evening, everyone. This is MightyStream, and it is getting late on March 8th. It's 11:11 p.m. Eastern Time. Well, today has been a very productive day for me. I just finished a research paper, and went to turn it in, and the system is down. My school system is down. There was a point where I really felt kind of discouraged. And I'm already tardy with the papers, so I'm already going to take a deduction percentage wise. And I was thinking about it, and I was in my head, and I said, maybe, maybe it's time for you to just quit this further education piece and just sit back, relax, and live on the income that you have and make do. And why are you doing all of this anyway? And I think if the school system would have afforded me to send a email, I probably, I think in that moment, I would have had the, I don't want to call it courage, because actually courage is to continue on with a difficult situation, no matter what, right? So I think the negative frame of mind, after all these hours of working on this paper and trying to perfect it and get the best grade that I possibly can, so that I still walk away with a high B plus, maybe a low A, because I'm losing such a percentage of the grade anyway due to the tardiness. I think I would have sent an email and told the dean or whoever that is in charge of admissions. I would have told them, I'm just tired. I'm just really tired of this education thing. I've been with you guys for seems like 4 years now. And I'm just not sure this degree that I'm shooting for is something that is even important to me. And you know what? I reminded myself of something that we say oftentimes when we come into the rooms of recovery. And I can feel myself getting emotional, but we say sometimes, don't leave before the miracle happens. And I can hear this one particular brother from the North Side group of NA saying that in his share, don't leave before the miracle happens. And so I just told myself, shut the computers off, shut all of the devices off, grab yourself a large bottle of water, and do your podcast for March 9th. That always seems to encourage you. Why don't you just go do that? And so this evening, although it's late, my name is MightyStream. I'm with H.O.O.D Recovery Services, Hope Offered on Demand. You can reach me at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. Let's get into the just for the day for tomorrow, which is March 9th. Very interesting topic. I noted it and I said to myself, I'm not going to overthink this. I'm going to get right into it and see what my higher power will reveal for me as I read it. So March 9th, The title is Small Things. In the past, we made simple situations into problems. We made mountains out of molehills. Basic text, page 90. Making mountains out of molehills seems to be our specialty. Have you ever heard it said to an addict, a flat tire is a dramatic event? Or how about those things, those of us who forget all pretense of principle when confronted with a bad driver? And what about that can opener that won't work? You know, the one you just threw out the second story window. We can relate when we hear others share. God, grant me patience right now. No, it's not the major setbacks that drive us to distraction. The big things, you know, divorce, death, serious illness, the loss of a job will throw us, but we survive them. We've learned from experience that we must reach out to our higher power and others to make it through life's major crises. It's the small things, the constant day to day challenges of living life without the use of drugs that seem to affect most addicts most strongly in recovery. When the little things get to us, the serenity prayer can help us regain our perspective. We can all remember that turning over these small matters to the care of our higher power results in peace of mind and a refreshed perspective on life. Just for today, I will work on patience. I will try to keep from blowing things out of proportion and walk with my higher power through my day. A little tongue tied there tonight, but isn't that a beautiful meditation for tomorrow, March 9th? You know, the meeting that I pointed out to you that is an international meeting that I do service work on and share a couple hours throughout the week. Some of my friends are already into March 9th, and I can remember waking up to chair a meeting on that platform, and it would be 3 o'clock in the morning. And it's already like 9 o'clock in the morning for them. And even some of my friends over in Australia, wow, they were going into the end of their day, the same day, but into the end of it. It's just amazing how, with all of these different time zones, no matter what time you think it is. Now, listen to what I'm saying, because I'm saying more than the obvious. I am saying that with all these different time zones, no matter what time you think it is, it's always just right now, no matter where you are. So at midnight, I can have a conversation with one of my friends over in London. And at midnight, they're already waking up while I'm thinking about going to bed. But in that moment that we're sharing, it's just right now. I can tell you this was a wonderful experience. When I first got into recovery in 1993, my sister, Jamie Marie, she paid for my trip to the World Convention in Paris, France. And I remember that was my first time ever flying. And I was nervous. I was very nervous to fly that long and that far. I had never been on an airplane. She flew me to that World Convention and she paid for my expenses. This would have been, I believe, 1995. I had just had a double bunionectomy on my feet. And so I was in quite a bit of pain, and really the ideal of actually walking was pretty interesting because I had just gotten out of the cast. I had just, they had taken the cast off, and I stayed in soft cast for a while. They took those off, and I was just being released to use regular shoes. And here I am flying over to Paris. And I can remember talking to her on the phone and telling her about how wonderful my day had been at that convention. They held it at the Euro Disneyland. And I remember asking her, look outside. Can you go out and look up into the night? And she looked, and I asked her a question. What does it look like to you? What does the moon look like to you? And she told me it looked like it wanted to be a full moon, but it wasn't quite. And I was telling her, that is so amazing. You and I are looking at the same moon from different perspectives. And even though it looks different to us, it's the same moon. Like I'm feeling like we're in the same moment in time. And that's how it is. That's how it is always. And I want to encourage you to understand that. Whether these are big things you're going through or these are small things you're going through, that your recovery is intact if you choose to let it be. It's intact when you go through big things. It's intact when you go through small things. It's intact even when you act a little bit crazy. It's still intact. As long as you don't pick up the first one, you don't ever have to worry about when you will pick up the last one. And I would bet your bottom dollar that you have gone through tremendous degrees of pain, tremendous levels of confusion, and you have survived them. Just like this paper in their computer system, the university's computer system being down. What does it matter? Would it matter if today was the final last day that I could turn it in? Absolutely. Absolutely. But you know what I would do? I would probably download that to another platform and send it, send it to my instructor's other email, right? Or I would send it to myself and copy her at the university's email. And when the system comes up, she would receive it and know that I had turned it in. I didn't even think that through. I was just so frustrated. So, throwing a pity party. I do all this and this happens, right? Such a small thing. And I was ready to throw 4 years worth of work. Just toss it up because of one minor, very minor setback. Today, and I'm speaking about March 9th, when you wake up and you listen to this podcast, I want to challenge you to do 2 things. The first thing is when you wake up and you listen to this podcast, I want you to think back on yesterday, which is our today right now, March 8th. And I want you to go through mentally all of the small things that you passed through and you almost let them take you out, right? Maybe not out to using, but out in a behavior, right? Lying, cheating, stealing, flirting, sexing, gambling, right? All of these other forms of transferring our obsessions, okay? So think about that. And then I want you to commit to not do the same thing with those small things. March 9th, our today, okay? I want you to do that. And I want you to remember March 8th compared to March 9th. And we'll talk about it on March 10th. Hey, listen, I am very much aware that I did not do the serenity prayer. You know why? Because I was coming into this full speed ahead, all guns blazing, because I was really wanting something to lift my spirits. And I feel much better now. And I feel that I can say the serenity prayer with a full heart, with a whole heart. So let me end your evening with this, and let me begin your day with this. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of the serenity prayer. Let's take that moment of silence now. Who we are not. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and here it is, the wisdom to know the difference. Wow, such a powerful prayer. Very short, but very powerful. I wish you the best. I wish you cozy rest and sleep tonight. I wish that you would wake up full of energy and power and having the ability to set matters straight, to check those small things that are trying to run you. Check them, put them in check and say, not today. Today, I'm going to recover, right? Good night, everyone. This is MightyStream, and I look forward to seeing you or talking to you March 9th for March 10th. How about that one? Take care. Bye.